Hey, welcome in everyone. It's Laura. I'm back. Welcome back. We are going to talk about the weekly astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective. We're going to go deeper in with some tarot and some oracle messages, so stick around. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment on the video, share the video. First and foremost, I'd like to wish you all a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, whatever it is that you are celebrating this week. But we are going into the last full week of December, and we have some pretty big energies playing out this week. And so on Monday, we do have the Sun square North Node. We're going to have Venus sextile Chiron. On Tuesday, we're going to have Venus trine Lilith. The biggest aspect I feel playing out this week is Jupiter retrograde in a square aspect to Saturn. Then on Thursday, we're going to have Mercury opposing Jupiter retrograde. Friday, we've got Mercury square Saturn. Saturday, Venus square Uranus. And on Sunday, Chiron is finally stationing direct after months of doing this inner healing work. And so what I feel is a paying off of karmic debt connected to the Divine Masculine Collective this week. And there is a lot of illumination about the greatest gift that we are here to deliver to the world, which is basically our authentic self. And so right now I feel we're in this energy of like peeling back all of the layers like an onion to get to that authentic essence. And so this is going to be a week of persistence. It's going to be a week of growth. You're likely going to face some type of restrictions. Both counterparts will. That is going to bring forward a forceful change in perspective is really what this is feeling like. And so if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling challenged, Divine Feminine, this is all redirecting you towards the path of success. And so I feel we're kind of all feeling this tension between our unique path, our mission work, and our personal identity right now with Chiron and Aries. It is an identity wound that we've all been working through. Whether you are a Chiron and Aries or not, this energy is traveling through your birth chart in some house somewhere along the lines. And so this is kind of affecting us all when it comes to adapting to maybe new ideas, asking us to evolve and overcome this stuckness that we've all been feeling, which I do feel is a big part of Jupiter in retrograde. And so Divine Masculine may be feeling a little bit anxious when it comes to pursuing his destiny as well this week. And I think a lot of the Divine Masculines are feeling very stuck in the past right now, needing to break through this stagnation. Divine Masculine, I felt this reluctancy to dive deep into the unknown, deep into the shadows. There's a resistance when it comes to this awakening and these fated destined unions, and avoidance was a very big energy that came through for the Divine Masculine Collective this week. It's almost like they're afraid to show their innovative side. I felt a very strong presence of Aquarian energy, whether you're a Divine Masculine that is an Aquarius or not, it doesn't matter. But the message was really clear. And channeling these energies, there is massive potential this week for a new beginning, because after this week, we do have the new moon in Capricorn early next week. And so there is going to be heartbreak. There is going to be pain associated with this new beginning. And so there is a need to face these past heartbreaks this week. There is a need to look that past betrayal right dead in the eye and to release this emotional pain that's been a block. And so this really is a week for both of the counterparts to work through these wounds connected to self-worth, connected to seeking validation, and to really find the resolution to these past heartbreaks. And this is deeper than this life. This goes all the way back to the seed point of the original twin soul union from a past life. And so I was really sitting in this prominent energy of the Sun reversed. The Sun card is key 19 in the tarot deck, and karmic debt is associated to the number 19. The karmic debt numbers in numerology are 13, 14, 16, and 19, as well as 29. And so the Sun reverse, I feel, is a huge indication of the Divine Masculine being stuck in a pattern related to abusive power from a past life. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are feeling this deep sense of loneliness and isolation. 1 minute, guys. Sorry about the dog barking. So right now I feel there's a lesson that needs to be learned for the divine masculine regarding independence. And this is all connected to abusive power in a past life. And so they're needing to learn that lesson of independence. Karmic debt 19 is associated to extreme codependencies and, at worst case scenario, narcissistic energy, narcissism. And so a lot of these masculines are learning how to support themselves through the life struggles that they are going through. I know a lot of the divine feminines go through the awakening process first. They go through that rock bottom energy, and we're kind of left there to pick up the pieces by ourselves as well. And so right now I feel the divine masculine is needing to stand on their own 2 feet. That's what these energies are saying. And so most of the divine masculines within the collective that have been called to action are stuck in this past life energy of needing to clear the karma connected to them, not considering the pain that they have caused others. And so this is a lifetime where they likely get stuck in a situation where they are manipulated due to their supreme manipulation tendencies in a past life. And so it is that energy of what goes around eventually comes back around. And the universe is always going to seek to create that balance. And so a lot of the divine masculines kind of were in this magician reversed energy. They were very supreme manipulators, very calculating. And so this is kind of carried over into this life for clearing. And this really is where we're at that turning point, or that fated divine why, where the masculine is being asked to step onto the pathway of living a life of service. And so in a previous life, they usually spent a previous life mistreating others, treating women and children badly, and now they need to make up for this in this current lifetime. And so right now I feel the divine masculines are having a hard time when it comes to learning to ask for help and accept it, because deep down I think they secretly are lacking a lot of self-confidence right now, especially when it comes to bringing forward an offer to you, divine feminine. And so I do feel oftentimes the masculines will become overly dependent in a karmic cycle with a romantic partner, or even in a relationship with their mother. And so this can be displayed a lot through narcissistic characteristics. And so right now they've got to transform this, right? And so there's a need to acknowledge the lesson this week for the masculine. There's a need to understand that they are here to master being of service, or else this lesson will keep repeating lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And so the energy really is pushing this week for this massive expression of authentic truth, for this illumination of all of these limiting beliefs. And really, we are being asked to maintain our truth. When we maintain our truth, we become more authentic, and we are being asked this week, both of the counterparts, to release stagnant attachments. And so attachments can come in many forms. It can be an attachment to an outcome of these unions. It can be an attachment like an addiction. It can be another person. It can be internal attachment. It can be external attachment. But I feel the energies this week are bringing forward a very sober reality check. So divine feminine, the message was clear for you. It's time to stop scattering your energy. It's time to contain your energy. It's time to choose one path and to focus on that path. And so I got a lot of messages that came through during the winter solstice about choosing a direction, sticking to the plan, mastering a certain part of your journey, and restructuring your focus. I think that's really needed this week for a lot of the divine feminines in order to achieve their next level of success on their spiritual path, on their service path. And so divine feminine, I feel you too are also at a critical turning point this week. And it's time for massive action for you, because growth is really possible this week, going into planting a seed for that new moon in Capricorn. New opportunities are going to become available for the divine feminine. And so which opportunities should you focus on? Really ask yourself that, journal about that. Which opportunities should I focus on? Think about that and get ready to plant that seed. So spend that time this week on focusing on these opportunities and which path is going to lead you towards the most possible growth and success. What key actions should I take to move forward on this vision? So really put in an action plan. It's not about actually maybe physically taking action, but you've got to map it out right now, because we've got massive potential to plant huge seeds of success during this new moon energy next week on Monday. So use these energies this week wisely. Are you willing to invest the time? Are you willing to invest the effort and then take the risk to get there? That's a big question I think we all need to ask ourselves this week. And so really this is a week I feel of growing pains. Growing pains. And so we have this expansive Jupiter energy playing out, which is all about growth. It's all about vision. And then we've got this super grounding energy of Saturn, which is giving us this structure and this form and this discipline to take action. But it's feeling very frustrated. Squares are one of the most intense, frustrating aspects. And so we've got all of this expansive energy and we're stuck in this freaking box, not knowing which way to go until we reform that structure and the discipline. And so divine feminine, you're likely feeling frustrated. I know I am, because I've got all of these ideas I want to implement, and yet I have all of this behind the scenes work I got to do when it comes to rebuilding my foundation, especially after losing years worth of work on my hard drive. And so I've put in so much effort into this path for several years now. I've put in so much effort to the channel, to the business page, to my spiritual path, to this growth journey, to my healing work. And I'm still asking myself, why isn't this falling into place? Why isn't this working? You might find yourself in that same energy this week, Divine Feminine. But, you know, I was really sitting in that harsh reality check of, hey, I've got a lot of limiting beliefs still. And a lot of my limitations are my external demands and my external reality, because I still have to run a household. I still have to be a mother to 2 children on my own. And it can be a lot of demanding energies when it comes to running a household, raising children, and taking care of my 3rd dimensional reality along with running a business. On top of it, let's throw that homeschooling aspect into it with my youngest. And so harsh reality of like, great things take time. And I wish I would have took the leap sooner, but I didn't. But I feel right now we really need to ask ourselves what is viable in what it is that we want to manifest, right? Because maybe your needs need to be adjusted. Maybe there's a restructuring of your very foundation like I'm going through, because the homeschooling really has thrown a wrench into my working schedule without a doubt. And I have no regrets for that, because my children are my biggest purpose, right? And so you might find yourself in a cocoon. I don't know where Jupiter's sitting at in your own personal birth chart, but for me, it's in my 4th house, and I feel like I'm in this cocoon. I feel like the whole house is under transformation, and I keep hearing no pain, no gain. And so I'm going through another rebirth, and it's not as intense as my very first Dark Night of the Soul, and I wouldn't even call it Dark Night of the Soul, although the energy has been a bit of a roller coaster with a little bit of suppression, depression. But we are kind of at a key development stage, I feel, for a lot of the Divine Feminines this week. And we do need to stay just realistic, and we need to stay grounded. And so ask yourself this week, Divine Feminine, what is stopping you from moving to the next level? Is there a lack of belief in your vision? Is there a lack of belief that you are worthy of success and receiving the vision? Is there resistance to maybe putting in the work? Because that's where I've kind of been at too. It's like I see it all piling up, all the books I want to reread, all of the information I want to regather, and there's a lot of resistance to putting in the work. I was really on this health journey for quite some time, and it all went kiboshed into a dead stop when Mercury went retrograde. And so we're in the holiday season, so I know something needs to change. I know it needs to be deeply rooted change. So what needs to change? Ask yourself that, Divine Feminine, what needs to change? Because I feel there's a big revelation coming in this week that, hey, something needs to change. So what needs to change? Be honest with yourself. And even Divine Masculine, if you're watching, be honest with yourself. What needs to change? Start turning inward. Start tuning in this week. Don't ignore the call for change. Change is uncomfortable. We go through this required stage of like cocooning and death energy before we can implement the change. And so change allows growth. So how can you surrender to kind of what's going on and what's meant to be this week when it comes to these changes? The energy really is bringing in a lot of new ideas this week, a lot of grand plans. I felt a lot of collective crown chakra activation, soul star activations. So pay attention to the signs and pay attention to the details this week and the energy, because this week is going to be challenging, I think, emotionally. It's always challenging around the holidays. Many of us have crossed over loved ones, and this is the time of year where we probably miss them more than we realize. This is a week of maybe facing endings, transitioning into a new path, and memories from the past are likely going to surface for both of the counterparts. And so it's really time, though, to let go of the past. We can't really embrace the new chapter without releasing the past. And so we kind of are being asked to move forward this week with clarity, with purpose, releasing the past. We're going to end this week with potential for unseen events and unseen changes on the relationship front. So be open-minded with that square with Venus. This is all about unexpected relationship shifts and even financial shifts. And so keep a healthy perspective this week. Keep your mind in check. Stay calm when it comes to your communications. That was a big thing for me. Stay calm in your communications. Remember that all relationships are serving as mirrors, not just the ultimate twin flame. We are all mirrors. And so this is a week of reclaiming back our personal power. Release the story of victimhood, especially as Chiron stations direct. That is about taking back your power, releasing the victim mentality. We live in a world of polarity. That ain't going anywhere. And so the light and the dark always need to exist together on earth, and they do exist within each of us. We all have a dark and a light side, and we have to accept that. We have to accept the pain. We have to use the pain as a guiding light for others. And so embrace the dark. It's the only way to evolve, because with Chiron stationing direct, this is saying no more projection, no more blame, no more guise of victimhood. And so it needs to end. It really needs to end. We can choose to heal or not, but if we keep choosing to sink into repeating patterns of trauma, and we keep choosing to stay stuck in cycles of pain and heartbreak, that really isn't going to hold much value and currency into the new earth energies. And so it's time to step into our sovereignty this week. That really is the only way to move forward. So let's jump further in with some cards. I'm going to timestamp it at 18 minutes, and we're going to see the further messages that need to come through for the twins. So I hope you've stuck around. Before jumping in with the cards, I would like to quickly mention there is a membership side to the channel. I go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time. I will be going live this week on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. I pull into all 12 zodiac signs each Thursday, and it's just a nice fun place to interact with me live, to get a little bit of information connected to your personal zodiac sign. So head on over there, because for the cost of less than a cup of coffee, you can join me and all of the other members every Thursday at noon. It's a really great place. So let's go a little bit further into the twins energy, and we are going to start with the Soul's Journey lessons cards. I wanted to bring in some really good messages and energy this week. I just saw the discipline card, but looking on the bottom of the deck, peace. I talked about that in the video I posted on the weekend. Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. And so there's purpose coming through this week. We know what we're here to do. And so work through these self-esteem issues this week. Work through the issues, because we all possess gifts of the soul, and it benefits us. It benefits others. And so discipline allows us to accomplish anything we set our mind to. So peace is the goal. Look at that. I cut the deck. I can't even. I cut the deck, and we get peace, and we get freedom. And so this is all about being free to create your own happiness, right? Happiness is a choice. We do have to wake up and choose to create happiness. And so peace, happiness, that's what I'm focusing on. I don't know about the rest of you out there, but I'm ready for peace. I'm ready for happiness. I'm ready for joy. So 2025, look out, because I'm coming for it, right? So let's see where the masculine is at on the soul journey. Oh, I'm liking it. Love. So we get love on the masculine side. So I think the masculine might be choosing a new commitment when it comes to seeing the good in all things this week. So any other messages for the divine masculine, but pride might be in the way. Pride kind of just flew out on top of love, not quite sideways. So they're working through their egoic blocks. They're working through their pride, but they are also learning to love themselves. And so I think they are seeing a reflection of themselves in people this week connected to pride and ego. And they might be struggling with some health issues. I do feel maybe they've not really been honoring their physical vessel. There could be some underlying health issues coming up for the masculine to deal with in order to reorient his physical body. I feel the 6th house is in focus for the divine masculine. So if you do kind of do those synastry charts, maybe have a look at your counterpart's 6th house this week, because I think that's in focus. And peace is below that, but we're going to leave it in the deck. We're going to see the energies coming through for the divine feminine. I feel Leo energy. I feel heart energy for the masculine with the health. So they might be having heart issues, health issues. But the love, I feel that the opening of the heart too could be creating some issues with their health. What needs to come through for the divine feminine? I know this moon energy has really got us all in our emotions too. That Gemini new moon really brought in a lot of revelations for a lot of the divine feminines that I'm in connection with. So divine feminine, what do we got? We're going to see. Oh, I'm loving it. Forgiveness on the divine feminine side. And so this is about, it's not about condoning the behavior of other people. It's just about acknowledging maybe where you've been harboring any resentment blocks this week. So you can get back in the flow of love, back in the flow of balance. I'm going to take it. I've got balance. I've got growth. And I've got change. And look at, I did say, as I opened up this reading, this would be a week of perseverance and challenges. And so there we got it, perseverance. And so you can do whatever you set your mind to. You can persevere. And so there is going to be some adversities this week. There is going to be some challenges, but challenges and adversities really are the best way to learn and to grow. And so right now you are being asked to forgive, to release resentment, to bring yourself into a state of perfect balance, perfect harmony, because you are here to align and to do so without judgment. And so if you're judging other people's, that's a reflection of what you need to look at inside that is unhealed. If people are judging you, that's them projecting their issues onto you. And so you are in a major energy of growth this week, divine feminine, and you are expanding your conscious awareness. And so there is nothing that can grow or evolve without movement or change. And so major changes on the horizon. So release the need to know all of the answers. Release the need to have any expectations of how this plays out, because I do feel there's a lot of doubt in the collective. So let's go a little bit further here with the tarot. We are going to use the Wildwood Tarot. We're going to use the Wildwood Tarot, and then we will go further with some other oracle messages. But I'm guided to the tarot. Look at that, 8 of Stones, mastering your skills. Let's just get all of the cards out. Two of Vessels, 2 of Cups, and the Sun. So there's that illumination coming through. Very interesting. So I think we're going to do things a little bit different this week. I would like to, I'm going to put this change card aside right over there. And I would like to do a 9-card spread. We're going to combine the overall energies between the counterparts this week, and we're going to see what the most prominent message is that needs to come through. So let's call it in. Let's see what the main energies are for the Twin Flame Soulmate Collective. Messages for the twins. Ace of Bows. There is a new spark for life this week. And so that is like the Ace of Wands. I just feel we just closed out Sagittarius season. Sagittarius is the energy of the archer. And so a new found truth, I think, came through over the last few days. Nine of Stones. Tradition. Knight of Arrows. The hawk. Very interesting. Five of Bows. Empowerment. The Forest Lovers. We get the Lovers, guys. That's the current energy row. We get the Ancestors or the Hierophant card. And we get the Knight of Vessels or the Knight of Cups. So I do feel an open-hearted conversation. I do feel a new beginning here. I do feel an opportunity to heal, to have that heart-to-heart conversation. I do feel there's this energy of really bringing it inward with the Nine of Stones and the tradition. And so that is kind of feeling a little bit like a hermity energy. You see he's holding the snake, right? He's holding the snake. He's holding like the death rattle, like the rattle. And we got the snake. And then we've got the antlers indication, an indication of leadership, right? And so if we look at this Nine of Stones, this is like, hey, I'm sovereign. I'm a sovereign being. I'm independently owned and operated, and I'm creating my own traditions. And so there was this illumination, I feel, at that last full moon. And so the snake for me on this card is representing wisdom. And so a lot of the twins do have to go into solitude to gain that spiritual wisdom, to understand their own traditions, and to receive that information from above. And so hawks, so birds are messengers. So the Knight of Arrows is the Knight of Swords. And so I just feel this is about that higher perspective. And I do feel this is about taking that higher truth and cutting things out of your life. And so there's some challenges, right? The Five of Bows, the Five of Wands is a huge indication of challenges this week taking place. It's almost like it's almost like the chalk outline at like a crime scene. And so you might need to defend yourself. And this is about learning to step into empowerment. And so we're going straight towards the Lovers, the Forest Lovers, and then to this higher power kind of taking over the Ancestors. It's a 5 card. It is the Hierophant. It is traditions as well, and then the Knight of Cups. So what else do we got? We get the Knight of Stones. So 3 out of the 4 knights have now appeared. We get the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. We get the Knight of Cups. We get the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Bows, and the last card out, we get the Empress. And so something is brewing for sure this week. And I just feel like you're pretty hard to ignore, Divine Feminine. It kind of feels like you are just in your power. You are in this balanced state. You're ready to receive, and there is some type of offer coming in. Now, maybe you might have 3 suitors coming in. You might have a pick of lovers to choose from. We do see 3 knights. It can be a representation of 3 offers. What do we got on the bottom of the deck? Well, we get the Page of Vessels. We do get the Page of Cups, which is a huge indication of a new emotional beginning. And there I called it. There's the Archer. We get the Chariot or the Archer. And so there is this energy of hitting the mark. So I kind of just feel with the 3 knights coming out and the Knight of Wands being the missing knight, maybe the masculine has finished sowing his wild oats. That's quite the possibility. But what I really would like to focus on is the Ancestor, because we started the reading with the Nine of Stones, the Nine of Pentacles, which in traditional tarot decks is an indication of a pre-Empress. And then we close off the reading with the Empress. And so this is like the journey of the Divine Feminine reaching some type of completion is what this is feeling like. And I do feel like we start at the first queen we start at as we journey through the minor arcana and all of the court cards for the feminine would be the Queen of Wands, the first queen that we have to master. And then we get to the Queen of Pentacles. And then we go to the Nine of Pentacles, and then we do become that Empress. And so I feel birthing the Divine Feminine, and this is bringing in a lot of attraction for you, is really what this is feeling like as well. So what has the ancestors got to say here? Because the central energy really is saying, like, the divine is in control of these energies this week, and we can't escape the fate of these unions. And so the ancestor is clarified by the Great Bear. Judgment, awakening. It's like time to come out of the cave. And I know winter is about hibernation, but there is a new beginning here. The Ace of Arrows, the Ace of Swords. There's a new truth coming through. And this is requiring rest. This is requiring rest. And so I just feel like moths to the flame for the Divine Feminine right now. And so you might feel like you are being asked to pause, to wait this week before receiving clearance for these unions. And so I do feel clearance for the unions is here. We get the Seven of Bows, the Seven of Wands, to the Six of Vessels, the Six of Cups. And so clearance for reunion. That's really what I'm feeling. And so right now you're going to need to rest. This might be within the next 4 weeks. You might even receive communication within the next 4 days, Divine Feminine. But this is a week of decisions. This is a week of deciding, what am I going to be dedicated to? What am I going to invest in? Because I can't stay stuck all up in my head. I've got to make a choice, and I've got to release whatever is holding me back with that Devil card. And so there's going to be a blasting of karma. We get the Tower, it's the blasted oak, and then we get the hooded man, which is the Hermit, and then we get the Emperor. And so the masculine, I think, is getting a Tower this week, getting a wake-up call this week, in order for them to go through this process of re-identification of self, to shine a light, to connect with spirit, to connect with their inner divine masculine. And so we've got the true pair on the board, and they're both in their authentic divinity is what this is feeling like. And on the bottom of the deck, we get the Eight of Bows. And so Hearthfire, there is an energy of accelerated ascension. And I do feel with the Nine of Wands, there's that Chiron direct. And so this is about respect and illumination this week. So I do feel there's going to be a sudden revelation that will create the balance. And I do feel there could be an offering around that new moon in Capricorn next week. And so the Shaman, the Magician, and the Mirror. So there is going to be a change in perspective this week. I need a drink. So, and there is going to be a new beginning. We're right back to the spark of life. So everything is coming full circle. Right back to the start is what I heard. And so you might have to face a challenge this week, but after you face this challenge, you're headed straight towards abundance. And that's what I got. Wow. Let's get a Power of Love card. And then we will close off with a Soulmate card. So these two came out and flipped right out the top of the deck. We get empathy and acceptance. And so it's about releasing control. I think the masculine is finally ready to release control of a situation or a person, so they can lovingly embrace this new rhythm of their life with the feminine. And so Divine Feminine, you are being asked to feel and understand the emotions of the Divine Masculine. And this really is in service of this great love. So empathy, acceptance. All right, what is the closing message? Commitment. Commitment and detachment on the bottom of the deck. Detachment and release. And so right now we're learning to detach. The art of detachment, the art of release. And so we are in this energy of releasing these old patterns, any old ideas that are no longer serving us, so we can step into the highest ideals of love. And release is asking us to find your ability to give over these unwanted energies, unwanted cycles, unwanted whatever, to the universe, or it will be removed with force, I feel. And so the card that came out was commitment. So this is where we're headed. And so we got to realize these obstacles really that we're facing are just lessons on the pathway to love, on the pathway to evolution and unconditional love. And so this is about dedicating yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. And so this is a week of really committing to the path, divine feminine. And I do feel a possibility for a higher commitment with the divine masculine. So this really is about trusting, respecting, and loving all that you are. And so we are here to broadcast our clear, radiant light. So how can you manifest your intentions this week? You can come from a place of strong commitment and combine that with a strong sense of self. And then that sends a precise message out to the universe that you are ready to receive the lessons and you are ready for commitment. And so right now we're developing our faith in the path as we move closer to the manifestation of these unions. And so no one else is meant to understand your twin flame experience or union but you and only you. And you can share your journey with others, but only you truly understand what is meant for you and your journey, right? Because we may have similar paths, but we all have our own unique twin flame experience. And so send that wish out to the universe. I do feel clearly commit to what it is that you want and say no to anything that is not in alignment with what it is that you want this week. Let's get a twin flame oracle card. What is the main twin flame oracle message? Okay, so right now we're learning to be present and we are clearing all of these unresolved issues with our parents, the mother and the father wound. So really be present in the energies this week, because when we enjoy the journey, when we embrace the journey, we attract more positivity. So what is going to be the closing message for the twins? I'm going to close it off with a soulmate card today. What is the final message that the counterparts need to hear today going into this holiday season? And so the love that emanates from your beloved, it does stem from the God, the great God, the great universal energy. And so we are here to love each other. We are here to become one. And so give thanks for the endless blessing of these unions. And so close your eyes. Close your eyes and feel this spiritual connection, because this connection is also connected to everything on the planet. Every person, every animal, every tree, every flower. Feel it. Feel it within you. Feel the connection of the ocean. Feel the connection of the wind, of the sky, because everything is in perfect harmony. Everything is coming into perfect harmony. So how can you move with the internal flow of love? So be still this week. Listen, feel, and just be. Because I think a lot of us have forgotten what is truly important, and it's time to get back to what is truly important. So really be still this week, because this is a favorable time of healing the heart. It's an inspirational time of healing where this relationship can blossom, if that is what you choose to manifest in your reality. So that's what I got for the twins, guys. Let's get ready for some massive changes, because that's where we're at. So nothing is set in stone yet, but you get to decide what you're dedicated to. So if you'd like to book with me for a personal reading, check out the links down below. I will be back booking in clients on January the 6th. You are able to book now, because I'm sure I'm going to be backlogged. So you're going to want to get in for the new year. Have a great week ahead, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.